At the beginning of 2025, I started with $100, and my goal was to see what I could grow that into throughout the whole year in sports cards. I started this challenge to prove to myself and others that you can start in sports cards with as little of a budget as you have. So the results are in for February. Let's jump in and see how we did. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the numbers for this month of February. So I'm going to go ahead and come into Synergy and get a custom report for the month of February. This is what I use to track all my sports card data. I made this website myself, still working on it, always making it better. If you want to use it, link in the description with a free trial as well. So I'm just pulling a report for the month of February. I'm using a separate account to track this $100 challenge just to keep everything nice and clean. So let's go ahead and jump in. So we'll talk about all these numbers towards the end, but first I wanted to just go through the purchases and the sales. So as you can see, made several purchases this month, or this last month of February. So a couple Ohtani Bowmans for $16 a piece, rookies. CJ Stroud club level disco, got that for $50. I was hoping to grade it, didn't turn out to be gradable, sadly. That's the case with a lot of these, actually. Some Anthony Richardson stuff, a select die cut PSA 10, a raw one out of $3.99. Good prices on those. I got a nice big CJ Stroud lot with some raw optics. None of those turned out to be gradable, unfortunately, but we got them at a pretty good price, so I think I'll be able to make a profit on them. I also got this PSA 9 die cut for a good price. We'll hold it for a little bit if we need to, but hoping to make some profit out of that. And then, yeah, the rest is just the CJ Stroud raw stuff from that lot. So now we will go ahead and jump into the sales. So this is the sale date right here. We didn't make any sales until the middle of the month, so that's why the purchases were a little bit more sporadic, because I had to wait till I got cash in order to make more purchases. So sold this Yamamoto for $5, profited 2 out of it. The 2 Ohtani Bowmans, sold them via Probstein auctions, made $781 profit off of one, $331 off of the other. Paul Skeens Bowman Chrome that I bought last month, profited $7 out of that one. A couple of the Jackson Merrill freebies, profited very minimal from those. Actually lost money on the Wave refractor out of 100. I auctioned this with Probstein as well, got a pretty low price out of it. Only made $1.85 out of this Jackson Merrill Aqua out of $1.99. So those were, or at least this one was one I was hoping to grade, but didn't turn out to be gradable. A couple more of the Merrills, the freebies, made less than $1 on each of those. The Skeens Archives Purple, only made a couple bucks off of that one. Again, only made a couple bucks off of the CJ Stroud graded stuff that I bought last month as well. Die cut, bought it for $3, sold it for $4.82. All these sales are net, by the way. So profiting just a little bit, and then starting to sell through this lot of the raw stuff, the raw CJ Strouds that I bought in February. Profited $5 off of the Blue Hyper. Sold the Anthony Richardson Select PSA 10. Good margins on this one. I sold it for $40 net, so profited $14 out of that. Profited $8.33 from this Blue Hyper. A couple bucks from the Select Die Cut Raw Anthony Richardson. Then I lost money on the Jackson Merrill Topps Purple Archives. So definitely not as smooth of a month as January was, but overall still profiting and excited about where we're headed with this. So if we go back to this report, we'll go over the numbers. So cost of goods, $290. So keep in mind that this was all the money that I earned profit-wise in January, plus I was able to turn the profit over a couple times. Want to keep this number as high as possible and spend money right as I'm getting it. And then, made a lot of sales this month. This is the number that I'm really concerned about here, that I really want to focus on, is the profit on sold cards. So profited almost $60 total from all these sales in February. So overall, really happy with that. So that's about it for the month of February. Again, kind of slow to start these first couple months, but the snowball is building. And my goal with this is really just to prove to others and myself that you can really start in sports cards with, as small of an amount as you have to start with. So thank you all for watching. Subscribe for more videos, including, this challenge, as well as I've got a couple PSA reveals coming soon, and some other exciting stuff related to eBay auctions and other things like that. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.